So you want to lose a little bit of weight. Now, if weight loss is your goal, it's likely it's not the first time that you've tried to lose it. Most women are stuck on the yo-yo diet train, and menopause makes this 10 times worse. You feel like you can't shift it anymore. You know, the stuff that you used to do in the past that helped you to drop down the weight just feels like it doesn't work so well anymore. Most fitness people will just lecture you on calories in versus calories out. You need to move more, you need to eat less. Like, that's not news anymore. That's not massively scientifically breaking through anything. And the other thing is, it's not working. It's not working. We need more. We need more of a structure, more of a routine, more in-depth help and advice and coaching to be able to break through this new phase of life where that advice just isn't cutting it anymore. So what I want to do in this video is just give you a place to start. I want to give you some light at the end of the tunnel so that you have something in place to make sure you can move forward. You know that you're not broken. You're not in a phase of life where you can't do this anymore. You can lose the weight, you can keep it off. You just need the right approach. So in this video, I want to break down 3 main things where you can start, just to make a start this week, so that you can start seeing that result, start seeing the pounds coming off. So the first place to start is to create a structure. Now, what I'm going to say here is stop obsessing over calories. I don't have any of my ladies track calories unless they're really struggling, but from the outset, I don't want you to worry about the calories at all. I want you to focus on creating a structure that has a way of eating that works with your lifestyle, okay? Stop the extreme approaches, stop the yo-yo dieting, start focusing on what structure does my lifestyle need. The first way to do this is to have a defined start time and a defined end time to your food in any given day. So we have the time the kitchen opens when you start eating and the time the kitchen closes when you stop eating, and be really strict with yourself on this, okay? Now, what I'm not saying is you can eat this or you can't eat this. You are an adult, you're allowed to make your own food choices, but have some control over, this is the start time of my food and this is the end time of my food. As a general rule of thumb, you want to try and aim for at least 12 hours overnight where you don't eat. Okay, so this could be from 7 o'clock in the evening until 7 o'clock in the morning, and then you've got 12 hours where you do eat. So you've got at least 12 hours fasting and at least 12 hours eating. That's a great place to start and just gain some control over your diet and over the structure in your day. Now, once you've got that nailed down, you've got that 12-hour eating window and that 12-hour fasting window nailed down, the next step is to start planning when you can eat your meals. Start having a think about when in my day is conducive to sitting down and eating, and then you can plan your meals then, because otherwise you're playing catch up and you're trying to get snacks in and then you go all day without eating and the floodgates open when you get home. So think about your day, and even if it's 2 meals or 3 meals, however many meals can fit comfortably within your day, have them planned in. Make a routine of, this is what time I eat this meal, this is what time I eat this meal. And I would say either have 2 or 3 meals in your day. You don't really need any less than that, you don't need any more than that. That tends to work for most people. 2 or 3 meals is fine. And eat until you're full so that you don't feel the need to snack. Don't leave the dinner table feeling hungry. Eat until you are satisfied, and that will reduce the urge to start snacking in between your meals, which is a real downfall for a lot of ladies. The next step is to add 20 to 40 grams of protein, good quality protein, into each meal that you're eating. The reason that this is so important is because as you start to lose weight, you want the weight to come off in body fat. You don't want the weight to come off in bone or organ or muscle. You want to protect your organs, your bones and your muscles as much as possible so that your metabolism stays high, so you can keep losing weight and the fat comes off, not the important tissue. So put that protein in place first, and then you can pair it with other foods like carbohydrates or fats, but make sure that the protein is in every single meal, at least 20 to 40 grams. The second step to creating some control over your weight and helping you to get started with this weight loss program would be to move. Just generally be active, be more active than you currently are. About 70% of your actively burnt calories over the course of the day won't come from a structured gym session. They won't come from getting on an exercise bike or doing weights or anything like that. Nothing wrong with those exercises, but it will come from your day-to-day movements. So get out there and move, get outside, take the stairs rather than the lift. Try as best you can to be generally active during your day-to-day life. Now, a great way to measure this is to measure your step count. I'm not the kind of person who says you have to hit an arbitrary number like 10,000 steps a day. My approach is more figure out where you already are, figure out how many steps you're already doing, and add 10% to it. So if you're doing 3,000 steps per day, just add another 300 to that, and add another 10% each week. So it might be 3,300, then 3,600, then 3,900, and then you're just adding and adding and adding. Very marginal gains, very, very slight. You know, it might take you less than 5 minutes to do an extra 300 steps. You might walk to the end of the street and back and you've hit that target. And that's the only addition you need for week 1. And then you might just go a little bit further on week 2. But you do that every day and those marginal things compound. And before you know it, you're seeing a pound come off the scales, you're seeing 2 pounds come off the scales, but you're not changing your lifestyle very much. You're just doing little bits and sneaking it forward. And that's how we create sustainable change, long-lasting change, not by going really extreme. It's by creating marginal little changes that add up over time. That's how we create change. Step number 3 is to add some weight training or strength training into your program. This is the biggest thing that I could ask you to do, aside from the structure to your nutrition, is to add some strength training into your program, because this is what's going to supercharge your metabolism. Your metabolism is how many calories you burn at a resting rate. So if you don't do anything over the course of the day, you will still burn a certain amount of calories, and that will obviously help you to burn off the energy that you need to lose weight. How you push that number up and make weight loss easier is by having a little bit more muscle mass. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to be super muscly or like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it does mean that you'll have a bit better shape to your body, your blood flow will move around a lot easier, and your metabolism will increase, because that blood flow has a demand for oxygen and for nutrients and for calories. And so those calories get burned off because your body's maintaining that muscle mass. So 2 or maybe 3 hours per week with a structured, tailored strength training program is a fantastic idea to make your weight loss a lot easier, a lot more sustainable, and a lot healthier. Now, if you need any help with this or anything else that we've talked about and helping it apply to you, we run a private, ladies only, over 40s only, small group personal training program based on Wheatley Hall Road in Doncaster. So if you are interested in having a chat to see if this is the right thing for you and to help put all of this into practice for your body, click the link below, access my diary, pick a spot that suits you, and I'll get on the phone and we'll talk through how we can help you take what we talked about here and apply it to your body.